What up, folks? How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well out there. Thank you for joining TLP Sports Club. What you are watching, the show you are watching is TLP Live. That's right. That's me, am your host, Harry B. I am not T-Pain, okay? I'm not T-Pain. Anyways, I am your host, Harry B. And please don't forget that the B means billion. I have a pretty good show for you today, guys. I want you to be a participant of this show. Why in the world did Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, have to come out and say, I didn't want him? I wouldn't have chosen him. If you would have said we're gonna choose him, I would have said, nah. Did prom have anything to do with that? You know what? I don't want to jump too far ahead. We're going to talk about the Browns. We're going to talk about a few other things, guys, if I can fit it into this 1 hour show. All right. But you know, before we do that, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. So let's go ahead and work. Thank you so much for smashing that subscribe button. Make sure to get that thumbs up, though. And don't forget the comments, because if you comment, that's how YouTube and the algorithm says, hey, man, something's happening over there. Let's go visit TLP Sports Club with Harry B. That's what happens, okay? And if you found value in this, share with a friend. You feel me? Let them know. Like, hey, man, Harry B's on. TLP's up. TLP's up, baby. I got to act a little silly just to kind of get people to come into the door before I start with the real thing. Valerie Ellis is in the building. Okay, Valerie, what up? What up with you, Valerie? Jennifer Walls is in the building. Hello, my friend, and how are you doing? I'm doing well. Your favorite Liberian. I don't know if I'm your favorite, but I'm your favorite, okay? Your favorite Liberian West African is doing well. I am here reporting from New York City. Actually, my studio is not in New York City, but let's just say New York. If you said New York, it's enough, okay? Bandwagon Browns, what up with you, my guy? Jimmy also said don't get too far into the show, okay? Don't get too far into the show, Bandwagon Browns. And stop everything. I said stop everything, because Dallas is in the building. Ty Smith, my guy, what up with you? Salute to you, my guy. Hope all is well, everybody that's coming up. Unspoken Podcast. What up? Hey, Unspoken Podcast. I think you requested a link to the show, but maybe you couldn't come onto the show. I don't know what happened. I sent you the link and you ain't come on here. Stop playing with me. Oh, okay, Jennifer said I'm her favorite. That's what's up. Shreveport's in the building. Louisiana's here. Yes, sir. Will you get mad at me because I'm Liberian, if I say y'all food is overrated? I don't know something about the seasoning. I don't know. I don't want to start no beef, okay, with somebody who says I'm their favorite before I become your unfavorite. I'm sorry. I don't want no problems. Oh God. Woo. North Carolina's in the building. Okay, where y'all from? North Carolina's in the building. Darlene Haven's in the building. What up, Darlene? I don't want no food war, okay? And y'all don't touch. I know y'all got a gumbo rice, but please don't call it jollof, okay? Don't call it jollof and we'll be good, okay? Oh, man. I don't want no problems. Leave me. I'm sorry, guys. All right, man. Michigan is in the building. Valerie's in Michigan. Okay. Are they going to bring those car dealerships back to give y'all some more work, the ones that need work? What's happening? All right, folks, let's go, man. We got at least a few people. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 people in the building. Let's go, okay? Let's go. Okay, let's get serious here. What's really going on? Like, what happened? Why did the Cleveland Browns owner just wake up one day, say, I'm going to have a press conference, and then say, okay, I didn't want Shedeur. I find it to be a little puzzling. Like it's weird because he's on your team, bro. It's your team. He's on your team. He's a young quarterback. If you're, you know what? I brought Ocho, and one of my favorite Brooklyn basketball player, Joe, is joining them on this show. So let me let them, you know. Valerie said, I'm so frustrated with the Cleveland Browns. Everybody on this side of the internet, we have made this very clear that we are all frustrated with the Cleveland Browns. I'm like, what do y'all keep doing? Why y'all keep doing this? Come on, like, we told y'all we come in peace, and this can go one or two ways. You can do it the ugly way, we can do it a nice way, or we can do it the machete and Bible way. I don't know. They keep choosing that machete way. I don't get it. We come in peace. I promise you. We want to assimilate. Okay? Let me put in Liberian. Hey, man, my man, we want to be a part of y'all. Okay? We want to be a part of y'all. We want no trouble about. Anyways, let me go back to my American series. We don't want no trouble, man. We just want to assimilate. We want to like y'all. But y'all keep making it very hard for us to like y'all. All right, let me get Unc and Ocho on them to help us out just a little bit. And then we'll get into the show. But I don't get it. I don't understand it. It don't make no sense. All right, this is Nightcap. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. You see right there, it says I'm subscribed. So I ain't pump faking. I'm a member. I'm not a member of the channel, but I subscribe.
Good process, okay? And if you just told me, see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all were going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
1980,
let's wait for the commercial.
when Magnum started.
And
that was
all right,
who asked him that? Why did he feel the need to share that information, Ocho? Nobody. That's what unprompted. So you dry snitching. Ain't nobody asked you what round did you think you was going to take Shedeur in? Why did you take? Nobody asked you that.
Yeah.
And so he felt the need, and I get it. Yes, he's the owner, but it's like I'm like, bro, if you feel this way about Shedeur, why y'all still got the man? Because it seems like every time I turn around, Ocho, somebody trying to take a dig at it.
Yeah.
All right, let's stop right there. Thank you, Unc. We'll take it from here. I'm sure a lot of y'all feel the same way that Unc and Ocho and them feel. And my God, Joe, how they feel. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to understand this. We came in, we was ready to embrace y'all like we did Colorado. We came from Jackson State. A lot of us came from Jackson State. A lot of us came from the high school, Trinity. A lot of us came from just, okay, it's Coach Prime. We got to Colorado. They embraced us. We embraced them. Now we're one big family, one big happy family. Okay? We thought it was going to be the same with the Browns, but it's not the same with the Browns. I don't understand. All right, let me just let y'all know that you can call into this show, okay? I'm very capable of doing this show alone because it's not making no sense. You feel me? It ain't making no sense to me. I'm trying to be nice. I promise you, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to stay cool and calm and collected. But I feel like this machete might be coming out soon with these Cleveland Browns guys. Like, come on, man. Anyways, join TLPlive@gmail.com. Again, join TLPlive@gmail.com. Write down that email. That's the email that you're going to email me. So when I say Cleveland Browns and you like, boom, Harry B, let me in. Let me at him. Let me at him. Yeah, you can call into the show. You email me. I send you the link. You come on. We talk. You know the rest. You know how we do here at TLP Sports Club and TLP Live. All right, so, and if you are feeling generous and you want to bless your boy, my Cash App is right there. That's $ TLP Sports Club. I appreciate you. Everyone that donates, everyone that sent a little something is helpful. You know what I'm saying? I can get my car fixed. So the one wheel that's flat, I can get that fixed. I can keep going until I grow this thing to where I'm a mogul. You feel me? Like, and then I'm a mogul. Once I'm a mogul, then I can just start flexing on everybody we hate, because now I have that big old platform. And when y'all say Harry go, I just go. You feel me? Right now, only a few of them are hearing me. I need the whole world to have to hear me. Okay? I'll do your bidding. Not all of y'all's bidding, because some of y'all are just not. Some of y'all ain't right. So I can't do all of y'all bidding. Lord have mercy. Man. Prime example. Prime example. I said Shedeur's confidence is growing. And why do I have people coming for me? Like, I'm like, wait a minute. They're like, oh, you don't know Shedeur. What do you mean his confidence is growing? I'm like, you know he's 20-something years old, right? Like, he ain't arrived yet, right? He's still growing. I'm 40-something on the other side of 48, closer to 50. And my confidence is still growing. You always have room to grow. But for some odd reason, there are just some in this community that just feel like the Deons, nothing can touch them. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Like, relax. I'm for Shedeur. His confidence is growing. If I was talking about his personal self-confidence, I can still stand on business because he's a young man and his confidence can still grow. He's not all-knowing. So calm down, some people. Not all of y'all, but calm down, some people. It's okay. When we say these things, it's not because we hate Shedeur or we don't think he has confidence. His confidence can grow. Even though I was just talking about his confidence game, him being at Cleveland, his confidence is growing, okay? He's feeling a lot more comfortable. He's in his element. But calm down. Sheesh, Lord. Some people just be ready to slice with the machete is out all the time. But let's get at Jimmy Haslam. What's going on with Jimmy Haslam? Why did he have to do that now? Like, what happened? What is it in the water in Cleveland where the organization just can't get this right? You drafted a young man. Two young men are in that room. Two that just came out of college. They got their college degree, and they're trying to play for your organization, which happens to be the worst organization in the league in which you play. You said, I'm going to give you $4-something million, the other $6-something million to help my team to grow. And then you're going to come out after a couple of weeks of practice and everything. The season is about to start tonight, right? You do know that preseason starts tonight, right? For those of you who didn't know, it starts tonight. College football is back. NFL is back tonight. Okay? It's just a preseason game. I know it, but here we go. If you got these young men, you're paying them money, what in the world? Like, what exactly? What do y'all talk about for you to come out late in the game like this, and he's fighting for a starting position or just fighting for your team? He's putting everything he's got. He's laying everything on the line for your organization. So tell me, what sense does it make for you to send a message to him and say, I did not want you? That don't make sense to me. At this point, you want to start helping the young man to feel comfortable that he's with your organization. Is he still remembering what I told y'all about the situation? Remember that situation that I set up? And I said, did he and his organization get Shedeur to diddy him, put him on the shelf, kill his career, right? Because he heard what Coach Prime said. So it's his answer or the thing that he said based on the knowledge he knows about how Shedeur's dad, Deion Sanders, feels about his organization. Where players go to kill their career? Is that why he said that? Was that a dig or another punch back to Deion Sanders? Because if he says, if you would have said to me on Friday night or Saturday morning or whenever that we were going to choose Shedeur, I would have said, nah. Was that getting back at Deion? Now, if so, why didn't you come out earlier to let us know so that we can put this behind us? But now we got preseason coming up tonight. They don't play yet, by the way. We got preseason. The NFL starts tonight. This young man is he's feeling like, okay, I have a shot here at this team. And then the owner comes out and says, I didn't want you. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's like every time I speak about the Cleveland Browns, it's a bunch of confusion. And I don't understand like how to articulate what I'm feeling, because it's just, it gets you to the point where you're trying to, you're pulling for straws, right? You're trying to figure out, like, I know I went to public school and my vocabulary ain't up here. It's kind of like it's even because I did a thing. My dad gave me this thing called verbal advantage. So when I came here, I learned some words like plethora, uncanny, stuff like that. So I learned some words, and then I went to college. Going to college, you don't get that many words, by the way. So if you think you go to college, you're going to be, college don't do that. But no, I learned a lot of good words that I can use. Some of those words that I learned is like back there somewhere, so that when when people are speaking and they feel like, because you look a certain way, you probably can't understand them. It's like learning Spanish so that you can order at the Spanish restaurant so they don't curse you out. Yeah, I know a few words to be in certain rooms. Not all the rooms, but in good enough rooms. Oh, man. But it's like I'm lost for words, man. It's hard to really have a conversation around the Cleveland Browns and their intentionality. You see that word? Intentionality. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand why they keep doing what they're doing. Let's talk about the reps for a second. I told y'all, a lot of y'all come at me, Harry B. No, that's not how it works. He's a fifth rounder, da 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 da. But I was listening to ESPN the other day with Stephen A. Smith and others, and they were breaking down something. And almost everyone on the panel was saying, well, the way even a former football player who's now an analyst on ESPN, he said, yeah, the way that it works is when you get to training camp or when you get to practice. Hey guys, if you send me a link or if you send me a request, let me know, because when I'm talking, the email, I'm not checking the email. So let me know if you ask for a link. Yeah, the former football player on the panel says, yeah, the way that it works is if you bring in two people, or if you have in the beginning of the camps, you want to get that stuff out. You want to throw them out there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Check your email. I got it. I got you. Oh, I got a couple of people that want to join. Look at y'all. Y'all ready to swing. Let me send these links and then I'll get right back to you. Please forgive me. Dead air is not good for broadcasting. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, you get to this point where you're fighting for your career, and then you got the owner telling you, hey man, I didn't want you. So where do you go from there if you're fighting for a position and they're not giving you reps? You see what I'm saying? So when all of the panelists are saying you throw them out there and you see what you got. That's what I said on the last live. I told you that. Some people tell me, oh, you don't know, that's not how it works. And I'm like, no, yeah, actually, that's how it works. I've been doing this NFL. I've been watching the NFL. I've been following the NFL closely, analyzing them for a long, long time. All right. So let's just say 1990, because I came here in 89. I started learning the game in 89. My dad told me, All right. I think at that point I was where it wasn't Silver Spring, Maryland, not Aspen Hill. No, no, it was in Maryland though. I forget where it was. But yeah, like I know this NFL thing. I know how it works. The NFL is very, very it's simple. It's not complex like college football. It's very simple. If you pay attention, they tell you everything. If you've never watched a game before, the analysts are there to introduce the game to you as it's going. If a play happens, they tell you this is what just happened. And if you do that for a couple of years, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. I get it. And I'm an athlete. I know this stuff. We talk about this stuff all the time. So I said, okay, I understood what people like DC Carson Music, who I'm going to bring up real soon, what they were saying and what others were saying about the 5th round and all those other things. I said, no, I get it. But what I'm trying to explain to y'all is the NFL works in the way where if you're bringing people in, you want to throw them on the field and try to see what you got. And then eventually, you'll figure out who's who. And the thing about the first team rep is because if you got this person on your team and you don't give them first team reps so that they can get familiar with what you're doing, then when you are ready to use them, then where do you go from there? They're not ready because you didn't prepare them properly. When I'm trying to have this conversation, people are coming at me like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like, yeah, it has to, because it doesn't make sense football-wise, NFL-wise, because this person is a reserve. The reserve has to be familiar with your system enough to where when you do need them, when somebody does get hurt, it is time for you to put them in the game. They are already familiar. Whether it's 2, 3, or 4 reps, you want to give them that so that they can get comfortable and know the situation. You don't just leave them out and then when you're ready, you throw them out there and say, go. That's not how football, that's not how NFL works, okay? I keep thinking of college football. But let's go ahead and bring some folks on, man, because DC, you're first, man. What up, man? Thank you for calling. I appreciate you, brother. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, brother. How about you?
This is how I feel right now. When you run out of words and your emotions are everywhere, you just like,
I get it.
Let me bring the panel on, then I'll give you all a chance to talk about this. Unspoken Sports Podcast. What up with you? How you doing today?
Pretty good, Harry B. How you doing?
I'm good. Let me bring on the other panelists. Ty Smith, Dallas is in the building. What up, my guy? How you doing today, man? Thank you for calling in.
Yeah. That's what I'm on right now, bro. Thank you for having me on. What's up, DC? Spoken, what's happening, brothers?
What up?
So let's go to DC first. Why now? What do you think the motivation would be right now for Haslam to come out, knowing Shedeur's not getting no first team reps? People are speculating. Why now?
Because he's trying to send a message to all that Shedeur was not a part of our plan. I don't think that was a message to Shedeur. I think that was a message to Shedeur fans of, hey, and to some Brown fans, is that this was not part of our plan, but we saw value there that night. And so we made the decision to pick him, and then let's see how it works. But that doesn't mean, but it's clear to me, he isn't a priority in this plan. It's not that I don't think that they are excluding him, saying we're just going to push him over here and we ain't got nothing to do with him. It's just to a point where he's saying this was not part of our initial plan. And so that's an indicator of why things look the way it looks.
All right, Unspoken Sports Podcast. Is that how you see it? Is it that simple to just say, oh, he wasn't a part of our plan? Because the way I'm looking at it, like, I understand if he wasn't, those are not the type of words you come out and you say this late in the game. What is your thoughts on this?
My thoughts is Jimmy is just saying this to save face a little bit because of course it was Andrew Berry's pick, because on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show a couple months ago after the draft, Boog came on and he's like close to the Sanders family in Colorado and Travis Hunter. and he said that Andrew Berry was the pick that he did for Shedeur, and I think Jimmy's just saving face. But what if Shedeur ends up working out? I can see Jimmy flip flopping and saying, "Yeah, that was my pick all along."
You think he's that diabolical that he will come back and say, "Well, yeah, I was." Wow. How will he? How do you say that when you come out and say no? I would have said no. That was not my pick. How can he turn that around?
Because he's gonna realize that Shedeur is gonna make him a lot of money, especially with that new stadium coming.
No, I'm saying if Shedeur works out, how can he turn that around and say it was my pick? It was my pick. How will he be able to word that? Like, give me an example of how you think he will word that. I know it can happen just like daytime soap operas. They'll kill a character off, and then next thing you know, they'll bring him back and then tell us a whack story. What do you think Jimmy would say if Shedeur works out? How would he phrase it?
He'll probably be like, "Oh, I was just playing," or "I was just testing him just to see how if he will fail," or something like that.
That's a
You
good
know
one.
how like people do, like they just like change their words around, just like how like you're trying to like talk to a girl or something, and you just say some BS just so she can fall for you.
Like, girl, I was just playing with you. Yo, that's a good one. Hey, I like it. I like it. Ty Smith, what is your thoughts, man?
Yo, Harry, hey, I'm on one today, bro. So forgive me in advance, okay?
No, go for it. As long as you don't say no foul language, go
Well,
get
you
him.
ain't got to worry about the foul language.
All right, go get him then.
All right, cool. I said a couple of things on some of your shows previously from the time Shedeur got drafted. I said I use Ohio. I said, man, that's Jim Jordan State. And you was like, politics. Politics is showing throughout this whole thing. Jimmy is saying what he's saying. It don't have anything to do with Shedeur, but it has everything to do with Deion Sanders.
Okay.
It has everything to do with Deion Sanders. He don't like Deion Sanders. The NFL can twist and turn this crap however they want to. They all colluded together to pick Shedeur either not at all or in the 5th round. Because he stated, and all it was is to send a message to Deion Sanders that you don't run the NFL. You don't run anything in the NFL. We'll kill your son's dreams just to show you that you don't run nothing here. That's all this crap is about. At the end of the day, it don't have anything to do with Shedeur, but it has everything to do with Coach Prime. And it's sad to see it play out like that. And not only that, how come is it that the Manning family can say, my son ain't going here, but you got all the other NFL teams still have him on his board. Everybody not colluding together to say, you know what, let me take Shedeur off his board. I mean, let me take Manning off my board because, you know what I mean, his dad said this. But when Coach Prime do it, everybody join in and say, you know what, hey, we're not dealing with this. We're not dealing with Prime or his son. You see what I'm saying? So now you making it, in my opinion, you making it racially motivated.
I mean, you said a lot there. Anybody got a rebuttal before I move on to the next question?
I only want to throw this theory out, just perspective out there.
Okay.
When the Manners did it, they did it very short to the draft came up, and they didn't say a specific team. But Prime put what he said out there. I think there was a tweet in 2018, and then there was some other things said. So I think in context is that I'm not justifying. I'm just saying we have to consider of when and what was said versus like naming names. Probably not a good idea for Prime to do. Like I'm not going to this team, this
I got
particular team.
pushback. I got pushback, DC. I'm on one today, bro.
Go for
So,
it.
I mean, me and you, we talk offline anyway. So, I'm just saying, regardless if he said a specific name, if he say my sons ain't going to a certain team, and who was the number one team that was gonna pick Eli Manning when he came out that year? Was
These
it
are the
was it it was the
Chargers.
Chargers. Everybody knew he was going number one. I mean, regardless if he didn't say a specific name, the NFL is a brand. So him saying, I'm not going to allow my son to go to any team, just any team, now he's referencing to all 32 teams.
Okay, let me ask
It,
you this then.
Wait,
Let me
wait.
ask you
Didn't he
this.
say? Didn't he get drafted by a specific team and he said we're not going there?
Yes, he
yeah,
did.
he said, we're
That's
not
not
going
worse.
to, that's, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, I think
he
that's
can
worse.
do it. He
But
can
hold on
do
one
it.
second. But
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
my bad,
saying is
DC.
this. No, I'm saying it like, for example, is this. If I sit back and say this, let's say, Tim, that you're an accountant, and I say, you know what, I'm do my taxes, but it's some folks I ain't finna do no taxes with. We ain't going there. That's one thing. But if I sit back and say, I'm not going to Ty Smith accounting, and I certainly ain't going to no Harry B accounting, now you made it personal. So you got to look at that aspect of billionaires are arrogant. So to sit there and name and say, hey, basically, like, because think about it, when Prime that tweet came out, he said that, like, if I was a young QB, I ain't going to some team, and he specifically named Cleveland. So you got to understand, on one end, I get it what we're saying, but on the other end, we can't expect that person not to take that personally.
I'm with that. I get that part, but I think if you move away from that and then you get to the point where he gets drafted and says, "I ain't going there," I think that's worse than what Shedeur's situation. Because Prom didn't say my son ain't going to Cleveland. You feel me? He didn't say my son ain't going to Cleveland. They shouted, they praise God, and he's been in Cleveland he's been in the community and he's been working. So he didn't. Even though Prom said what he said prior to the draft, Shedeur did not say, I ain't going to Cleveland. Or Prom did not tell his son, we're not going to Cleveland. So either way, it's still the same thing. Because he got drafted and said, I ain't going there. So he got that kind of power to be able to say, I ain't going there. And you thinking like, oh, that's a little bit different because Prom name. No, the team actually drafted you and you said, I ain't going.
Hey, and let me put this in your spirit real quick, guys. Prime said that he don't want his son to go to Cleveland, right? Initially. So Cleveland still pick him. Now Jimmy come out and said, I don't want him. I wouldn't have picked him. This was Barry's pick. Okay. Coach Prime said he don't really want his son to go to the Cleveland Browns, and I don't blame him. That's a graveyard for athletes in general. I don't care what position you play.
Well, I agree that you can't say that. Like I'm on the side of you cannot say that because you know you are in a business where, and he said he's a man of God. So if it's a man of God, God specifically tells us not to do that. God warns us not to do that. So I'm on the side of don't do that. Like you can't spit in somebody's face and expect them to give you a handshake. That's an analogy. I hope you understand. You cannot on anybody. If I own the team, Todd Smith, if you own the team, Unspoken, if you own the team, let me ask Unspoken, he's been quiet. If somebody told you that I'm not going to your team is the worst team and everybody goes there to die, would you be happy about that and invite their son happily? Would that be what you do?
It depends on the talent, but in reality, no, I wouldn't want him on the team.
So let me take that. It depends on the talent. At this point, you're the owner of an NFL franchise. You're telling me that anybody, no matter how good they are, they can talk to you in any kind of way and say that kind of thing about your franchise?
Can you repeat that?
No, I'm saying you said it was dependent upon the talent. So you're telling me you, as the owner of a NFL franchise, that is going to get his money regardless, right? Because your share equally. You're telling me that even if it was Deion Sanders himself, or it could have been M.S. Smith, anybody, you're telling me based on the talent, they could say whatever they want to say to you?
I mean, if he can ball, he can ball. If I'm going to make money off of him,
Hey,
I'm
let me
gonna
help
just
you
put
out with
that
that,
as water
Smoke.
under the bridge.
Smoke.
Okay, so
gonna say
you're about
no, bro.
business, and you don't let personal things, personal feelings get in the way of you doing business. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's, I can respect that. I definitely can respect that. That's a Brooklyn way of thinking. I'm not sure if you're from New York or not.
Let me ask you this. Let
That's
me
a
ask you
Brooklyn way of
this.
thinking.
But let me ask you this. If you
Yeah.
were an agent, would you advise your client or the client's parents to say that publicly?
Oh no, you got to keep good PR throughout the draft process.
Because
Yeah.
see, if you had put an agent in part of that, some of that stuff could have been said behind closed doors and then be like, all right, cool. Versus letting, coming out and saying that with the platform that Prime has. And then you if you look back on some of the responses to it, people enjoyed it. But I mean, you are dealing with the NFL billionaires where you have to have calculated and understood that I'm saying this publicly, not privately, and then somebody leaked it. But by saying it, tweeting it, now you have to understand is that this could be have some repercussions. So while I understand the sentiment, was it wise to do it?
Well, first of all, it sounds like you want to say that even with a publicist, that you're going to muzzle his dad. His dad is a whole nother human being. So he could have his own publicist, but then what you're suggesting is that you're going to ask his dad not to speak on his behalf on anything. Let everything that's quotable go through his publicist. Do you think that would have been something that would have been possible? Or his dad could have just went somewhere and talked?
What
Because,
correct?
and let's add this. His dad also said with I forgot who the NFL legend he was talking with when he was sitting down, when he said, "Hey Dad, I said don't show up. I'm only getting 3 to 4 snaps." Like, I
That was
know
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. I know people don't understand the implications of that either, because you're not supposed to say I'm only getting 2, 3 to 4 snaps. You're not supposed to put that out there, because that can sound like you're complaining. You see what I'm saying? So if he's saying that type of stuff, you can't muzzle Deion. So what are you supposed to do?
You could sit back and say, if I were the agent, I would say this. I can't tell y'all what to do. What I can tell you is that if you say certain things, some stuff I can't fix. Just like a lawyer. If it's that I can't tell you what to say on the stand, just know if you say these things or you admit to this, though you don't have to, because it says you have the right to remain silent. Silent. If you do say it, there are some things I can't fix. I would never stop a client from speaking with their mind, and especially a parent. I would just tell them, you have the choice to say or not say whatever, but understand you will have to answer for the consequences.
Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. It goes a lot deeper. But let me just say hello to my folks that are blessing me with their presence today. I appreciate you guys that are on the panel. TH, what up? I hope all is well. Yardman's in the building. He's always going to agitate. The Jamaican. He's on the yard again. You're on the yard, man. Erica Ransom, what up with you? I hope all is well. JV Praise. What is this JV Praise? Is that how you're reading this? Or is it JVP Raise? Y'all let me know what you're thinking. Or JV Raise or Praise? Can you spell it out so we can see what it says? John Shaft, hope all is well. Stanley Dill, what's up? Stanley Dill, what's up? Michael Boyd, what up with you? Okay, so I really want to dig into this whole idea of timing. This is bad timing. I don't understand. First of all, TA said, Harry, I think the part where the owner spoke lacks context. You need to find the full version and see what was asked that warranted that response. I think we played the whole response, but I don't, nobody asked him. No, like they're giving a press conference. Nobody asked this guy. That's what Uncle them was saying. Nobody asked him. Like it was not nobody prompted him to say anything. They called this press conference.
Now, Harry, I'm gonna say this is that owner shouldn't have been saying that either. It should have been more so to a point where, hey, regardless, we're happy to have Shedeur in here. We see the growth, X, Y, and Z. Move on to the next question. So to say it, like I text you, I was like, man, that ain't good. Cause like that's kind of like why you in your feelings to say that. What was it? I don't know if people kept asking him the question or whatever it is, or a lot of stuff. But I agree with you. That right there does not say anything good.
You talking about Haslam, right?
Right, regardless, because I understand what TH is saying about the context, and because I looked at it too, I wanted to look at the whole interview, but I still sent that out. I was like, "This is not good." Not a owner, and I don't buy it because at the end of the day, he can say Barry picked it. He can say that, but you discussed it, so you approved it, so you did pick it because you
Right. So
approved it.
sure, everything rises and falls on leadership. You know what I'm saying? The good,
Right.
the bad, the ugly, and everything in between rises and falls on leadership. So for you to come out unwarranted, like unprompted, nobody's asking you a bunch of questions and saying, "Hey, who chose Shedeur?" You came out and you said that. There's nowhere in that interview where, hey, Todd Smith, you let me. Does anybody know who saw the entire interview whether he was asked
I
about
saw
this?
the entire interview.
What,
I seen the whole entire interview.
Did somebody prompt it? Was there a question or he provided that by himself?
That was something that he just seemed like he needed to get off his chest. Didn't nobody ask him that?
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I agree.
That's something that he needed to get off his chest, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody saying he was not asked. The people on the panel, the people in the chat, everybody saying he wasn't asked, TH. So nobody asked him. Even Unc said that. Unc said, ain't nobody who asked the question. Nobody asked that question, bro. I ain't trying to be biased. I promise you. He said nobody asked him that.
Who asked him that?
And it could have been clickbait.
Why did he feel
Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. See, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all gonna pick
today that Shedeur Sanders was not his pick? Let's take a listen to what the owner had to say about selecting Shedeur.
good process, okay? And if you just told me, see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all gonna pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Barry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call, but that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
Yeah. The first thing
Who asked him that? Why did he feel the need to share that information, Ocho? Nobody. That's what unprompted. So you dry snitching.
See, it was unprompted. Like nobody said anything to him. What it feels like is like they were having a conversation based on what the fan sentiment is. Because everybody's talking about it. There has been conversations about the leak that happened. You see what I'm saying? They got these insiders.
But think about what he said.
Certain information to. Their insiders go out there to do their bidding, right? So they leak that information. And the insider said, oh, it was the owner. And now they're trying to walk it back and try to make it seem like something's happening. Let me ask y'all this question. Do y'all think something's coming down the pipeline? And this is the reason why they had to get ahead of this to preempt it with this thing that the owner had to say. I'm just asking the question.
I don't
Is
think
something coming that we should be prepared for?
I don't think so because Jimmy also said that he expects Shedeur to play a lot this year also.
Then yeah. Then why? Then why say this? Were they having an internal conversation and they're trying to clean something up? Were they trying to? Did they oust their own insider? Because they
But
got that. Ain't
They
nobody
got it
saying that.
wrong. They
No,
once again got it wrong. That's what they trying to save face. They got it wrong once again.
got one wrong though.
Picking Shedeur in the 5th round when they knew that he was a first-round draft pick, and they trying to convert away from the 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 collusion. And I feel like he just threw Barry under the bus because he just said that, oh, Barry is the one who made the decision, blase, blase. But you also talked about Arch Manning in that same interview. Well, I don't think Arch Manning's going to come out for 2 years. So Arch Manning must have been in your 3 to 5 year window plan, which we talked about briefly on one of your last episodes. And so,
Hey Tim, he also said, look, this is very important. This little tidbit that he said. He said, if you know the Mannings.
exactly.
He said, if you know the Mannings, he's probably going to be in school for another 2 years if you know them. Oh my goodness.
Well, I want to unpack what Jimmy said, being able to sit in rooms and listening to leaders. So what he said is that, okay, Friday night, there wasn't a conversation. So Saturday morning, they were talking. That means that Jimmy was right there. And then they also said that we had the right people in the room. So they discussed it. And then that was a decision. Because if he said, if I'm a leader and I go, okay, you know what? I would say that makes sense. That's fine. But for him to sit back and say that was Barry's call means, hey, I disagree with it, but I'm going to trust you. But so that's what he would be saying. Now, do I believe that he still, even by default, that is agreeing to it? But what I'm sitting here saying is, I do believe. Here's what I think is gonna happen. It's not what I want. It's what I think. I do agree with unspoken sports. He's gonna get some playing time on the practice squad. That's where Shedeur is going. They need a practice QB, right? Who is it going to be? Because we hadn't had that conversation. Somebody in there is going to be the practice squad QB. Who is that going to
Okay,
be?
so you think between all things considered, right? Because how the NFL is supposed to go, you think that between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur, and let's say, I don't know if what's the name is coming back. The two veterans, let's just leave them out of there. So between Shedeur and Dylan, you think that Shedeur would be the one that goes to the practice squad?
I would not be surprised from that statement made. That would lead me to believe something is going to shift, and I don't think it gets cut. But I do think even if he's not on the practice squad, which I think he probably will be, is that he won't always be on the game day roster because they can only have so many people.
Right. Yeah, but I'm saying, okay, so then when you say that though, then that means we have to analyze the how the NFL works in the game of the NFL. That means that this is more political than it is football. Because if you push Shedeur on the practice squad and keep Dylan, then that means that you don't care about talent because he's not getting first team reps. Let me take Unc off the screen because I got him in a pretty bad position. His nose and his mouth is all open. Let me take Unc off the screen. All right, so for you to say what you're saying, that means that it's not about football. That's what I'm hearing. If Shedeur goes to the practice squad, that means this is not about football.
Well, somebody's got to go.
No, I know that.
It's not going to be Pickett or Flacco.
If it's about football, then the way that they're doing this thing is not going to be the way that they're doing this thing. They're not putting them out there to play.
They're not putting them out there to play.
Right, they're not putting them out there to play, so something else has to be going on. And at that point, if you put Shedeur on the practice squad, I can only come to the conclusion that you're trying to destroy his career.
No, but what I'm saying is that is a conclusion you can come to logically, but there are a lot like
on their unorthodox way of doing things, right? I can only agree to what you're saying based on the unorthodox way how they are handling this thing. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, now again, he might not go to the practice squad. He may be the third man on, or one of the veterans get cut, or something like that. What I'm saying is, as we develop this conversation, I wouldn't lock into there not being fair to him. I would basically sit back and say, from our perspective, it can look that way. That's fine. But at the end of the day, is you still have to have there are politics involved. It just is. It's always been.
I'm agreeing. I think what I'm doing is I'm agreeing with you, but I'm agreeing with you on the notion that based on everything and how everything is transpiring, like you said, you wouldn't be surprised, but I agree that I wouldn't be surprised either. But if that happens, my conclusion would be they're not doing this football. They're not doing this for football reasons. That means that the narrative that everybody else has been putting out there about them thinking about a quarterback for 2026, that would be in the forefront, because you do have a viable quarterback there in Shedeur, and you don't want to see him play. Here, let me put this else, something else that I heard from ESPN. Let me put this out there. It was an analyst that says, I think it was the same analyst. He said, no. When they asked him, there was like, should he get first team reps? There was like, no. Make him mad. Keep pissing him off. As an athlete, I understood that. And I said, okay, now we're talking football. If that is the plan, though. So who else here on this panel understands that from a perspective of an athlete? No, piss him off. Keep him angry. Let's see if we can bring the best out of him. Does anybody else think that the Cleveland Browns are astute enough or smart enough to maybe have that in their back pocket? Does anybody else think that?
Man, no, I don't. The Cleveland Browns organization is the stupidest organization in the NFL. They are the stupidest organization in the NFL.
Okay, you are on one today. Go ahead.
How can you how can you even think, oh, we need to bring out the best in him? Does he need to improve on certain things? Yes. Everybody can always get better at whatever they're doing in life. There's always room for growth and opportunity. But to sit back and say, let's just make him mad to see what he has. All 32 teams showed up at his pro day, bro. How many times had the Cleveland Browns been to Colorado throughout last season? Where did Cleveland Browns have him on their mock draft? You know what I mean? Like, they the stupidest organization, man, in the NFL, bro. Like, it's really pissing me off to see what they doing to him.
I think it's a smart move if you see something in him and you've had back channel conversations with the organization. You're like, we know that he's elite, but we need to bring him down from up here, because when he was coming in real hot. So we humbled him. We humble him, and let's make sure that when he's ready, we know already what we have in him. I know that's a possibility. Let me land this plane real quick. From an organization, let's just say Phil Jackson or Michael Jordan, or people that are real athletes that understand the psychology of sports and understand how to bring the best out of players, or your best player. I'm not saying Cleveland, like you said, they're the stupidest organization. I'm not saying Cleveland Brown could be or are doing that. I'm just saying if they are, it's a good move. It's a good move, because it does work for the psyche of certain players. If you don't get them, if you bring them down, because they're such a strong personality, they never get down, but they understand when they get pissed off, they play at a different level. I understand that aspect of sports psychology.
I do want to speak on this, but I want to go last.
If they're doing that, I think that would be genius. I'm telling you.
I disagree with you, Harry.
Okay. Oh, well, which aspect of it?
I disagree because you saying that a player can't be confident within himself.
No, 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 no.
You
That's not what I'm saying.
you
No,
saying
no.
that he was high up on himself.
When the player is high up on himself, Michael Jordan himself said this. He said that mid-game, he gave props to one of his players. I forget who the guy was. What was it, Gazelle? I forget. But he said after he gave the confidence, after he gave the vote of confidence to that player, the second half they play like trash. So it ain't about the player not having confidence. That's not what the psychology of that is saying. The psychology is saying, I'm going to bring you down. I know that you're already up high on yourself. I have no issue with that. I'm going to bring you down and I'm going to piss you off. That is going to get him to play at a different level with a different mindset than he would have played if you would have given him all the props that everybody is ready to shower him with. He's
picked in the 5th round. You don't think he's going to come in already pissed off when he knows that he should have been picked
and they're going to
in the first round?
That's why that ESPN analyst says, no, don't give him no first rounds. Keep him pissed off. And I understood when he said that right away. I understood that. I understood that because I have listened to old school interviews from like the Mike Tysons, the old heads who really understand sports psychology and how to get under the skin of the greats. When you get under their skin, they perform differently. You perform different when somebody. I'm trying to tell you, it works.
I don't believe it.
Okay, let's DC step in there. DC
okay, let me say something before DC go. If you're a winner, Juju Lewis, he's a winner. Shedeur Sanders, he's a winner. You're always gonna have a winner mentality. I don't care how many levels you go up. You're going up with the same winning mentality.
I'm just gonna tell you 4 and 8. Just think about 4 and 8. When them boys started that season, when them boys started the season off 3-0, something happened. Something happened, and why they went for that team could have been an 8-4 team. When everybody started to praise them, they didn't play the same way. When they started going on every single TV show, something transpired that caused them to not operate on that same level when the whole world was against them. I'm telling you.
About the individual, not a team, a whole.
Well, it starts with the individuals on that team. Shedeur was the leader of that team. They started feeling themselves. Then after that, can you imagine if Shedeur comes into this league on top with his mindset? Do you think Shedeur will perform the fire that's under Shedeur now? Do you think that fire is going to be the same fire when he comes in as high as he was?
I think so.
I don't
because
think
he got a winning
They
mentality.
already proved it to us. They went 4 and 8.
I'm eager to hear what DC got to say.
I want to yield to unspoken sportscast before I speak, and then I'll say what I got.
First of all, it's not unspoken sports cast, okay?
Podcast, unspoken sports podcast. The tongue twister with it. Unspoken sports podcast, and I'm on subscribe. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So I think Cleveland should still treat Shedeur this way, just to light a fire under him so he can stay level headed and don't get too high on himself, even though we know he's that guy. But just keep putting that fire under him, and then sooner than later it's gonna work out for the best.
So wait. I just want to understand because I didn't hear clearly the first part. Are you subscribing to the idea where they keep him pissed off to keep that fire burning under him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what my basketball coach always did to me. He always put a fire under me and made me pissed off, and I always play the best doing that. So I can see people doing that to Shedeur because you know how in the Colorado games when the offenses wasn't really playing that well, and then Shedeur got popped in the face or got pissed off, then he started playing good. So I can see Cleveland doing that also.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm on the sidelines, kind of I'm wavering because I don't know. Like Ty Smith said, that Cleveland may not be that smart. Now, if whether it could be unintentional, but if it's intentional, then I would give them all the credit in the world. I'm like, okay, if you guys knew what we know about Shedeur, and you said, this is our franchise guy. I think I said this like in the beginning after the draft. If they're saying this is our franchise guy, but we need to bring him down so that we can keep that fire burning, that would be genius. That would be utterly genius. I'm telling you, y'all, listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. But if it's not, it could be intentional and it could be unintentional. Either way, I think it can work out in their favor. They can flip that and come back later and say, well, this is what we were doing if it works out, even if they didn't intend to do that. But at this point, I don't know what to think about Cleveland. I don't know if that's true, if they're trying to do that. But
So I'm gonna give a perspective. All right, I know folks are saying, "Well, he's this, he's him." I'm just gonna tell you experience, and when I got to my assignment teaching ROTC, most of the black females did not pass the PT test. They could not do the run. So I said, "Oh no." So they would come up to me and be to me where I'm just gonna be loving and coddling. And I was like, nope. I see y'all coming here with your Burger King bags with grease on the outside. You can't pass height and weight. And I lit into them. I would stick them in the hardest job and I would piss them off. And guess what? Almost all of them passed the PT test because it was to a point where they were used to this. So I'm gonna give you a perspective. If I'm sitting there and I'm Stefanski, not saying I would do this, but a perspective from leadership, I would say, sit down, Sanders. All right, so here's the thing. You had a 10 up that says legendary. If you want to be that, then I'm gonna help you be that. But right now it starts here. You are Shedeur. You ain't prime son. You're not none of that. What I want right now, a bunch of people, millions of people thinking you got here because of your daddy. So if you want me to start you, you gonna make me start you. You gonna put in the work because now I need to have it. You need to have it. That if you take this job, that the team that you're leading your team, not because they love you, because they all do already. We've got to set it so they're willing to die for you. And that means you're gonna have to make me play you.
so
And I'm
are
gonna
you
be hard on
agreeing,
you, and I ain't
DC?
gonna let
Are
up.
you so that means you're agreeing to that sports psychology?
I'm saying that works like you would not believe if I just
Right.
sit back and deal with you
So Ty
and
Smith,
say
you are on the
you
island.
at zero. You at -0 right now. You gonna have to make me play you.
So Ty Smith, you're on the island. You want to get off this island and join the rest of us island boys?
So yeah, y'all could be Island Boys by yourself because the Island Boys' career didn't even last that long. But what I'm saying is, it's everybody. Baker Mayfield was high on himself, bro.
Okay.
Coming out of college, going to the Cleveland Browns, he didn't get treated the same way. Even though he got drafted higher than Shedeur did, he still didn't get treated the same way because he believed in himself that much. Them girls that you had to light a fire up under, they didn't even believe in themselves coming into it. So yes, you had to light a fire. I'm not taking none of that away. Some people you have to light a fire up on under to bring out the best in them. But with Shedeur, you don't have to do all that because he's showcasing the same
No,
thing that he hold
Tim,
on.
Tim, you do. I'm telling you, psychology works in different ways. There are people
Hey,
that are high. There are people that are highly confident, and then there are some that are not confident. But the way that you approach them, it got to be differently. I'm trying to tell you, it works both ways.
it does work both ways. But what I'm saying is with this specific individual, you don't have to do all that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like the reason that they not giving him first team reps, even though the twos yesterday went against the one defense, and he went 2 for 3 in that period. The Cleveland Browns don't want to allow him to showcase that because they want to feel like they were right the whole entire time. So we're gonna run with this narrative of we need to light a fire up under him to get people who already know what Shedeur can do to buy into what their talking points are, to try to
But
change your mindset.
No, DC,
but
let me
Tim,
ask him a question. Let me ask him a question.
okay.
And before I ask that question, Black Joker, and when did the crush him? The whole point of this concept that I'm putting out is that Shedeur is not the type of person that you can crush. The Black Joker, you can't. His type of personality, it's not easy to crush his type of personality. Now, certain people you can crush them, but not his type. His type is A alpha. It's hard to crush A alpha types. So that just answers that question. That's why I put that up there. So so Tim, you said that he's already confident he can play at a certain level. So do you not think that his level can rise? Or do you think he's already arrived at, he's already made, like you don't think that even a confident person as Shedeur, you're thinking there's no ceiling? He's maxed out?
No, I'm not saying that. I stated earlier, there's always room for improvement, regardless of what job that you're in. There's always room for improvement.
But you're fighting
even
against
Tom
that
Brady.
right now.
Say what?
You're saying there's always room for improvement, but you're fighting against that idea right now. You're arguing against that idea.
I'm talking about the psychological aspect of it, that you feel like you have to tear a person down just to build.
It's not
That's what you
tearing down.
stated. That's what you
You're
stated
not
earlier.
tearing them down. You're not tearing them down, but what you're doing, listen, first, if he was not chosen and nobody was willing to give him a chance in the NFL, I would say that's more like tearing them down. But if you got him on the team and you already know what's inside of him and you know he's strong enough to take this type of, public, whatever it's called, right? It's not tearing down if you say, I'm going to treat my best player, or I'm going to treat this young man, I know his ceiling, but I'm going to bring the best out of him, and psychologically, you do that, that's not called tearing down.
But Harry B, here's the thing I look at it. The fire is not to burn, it is to purify.
Okay.
And that is something as in leadership, is that you do have your studs, that you have to do that. And I get what Tim is saying. If it is not necessarily to tear him down, it's to a point. Because see, here's an aspect of it. We know we have haters in this community. I'm even called a hater, even though I have some favorable things to say about them. And I have some things I don't like, just like you would anybody. The thing being is that what I think, and I'm not saying this is what the Browns doing. I'm just saying, I think that there's an aspect that says this is not so much to make him the best player, but it is, which part of that is, but it is to a point so that when he starts, nobody can say crap. It is to make sure that he is ready to go out on that field and dominate it. Because let's just be honest, this team is not that great, and nobody wants to go out there and see. I mean, we hate it when we saw him get beat up that 4-8 season. We do not want to see Shedeur getting snatched around people the size of Myles Garrett. That ain't gonna end well, because if we think about it, last year they had 5 QBs that did not make the gauntlet. So I think you have to do this. It's because you don't want to have Shedeur Sanders out there and fail. You can't afford that. And he has to understand that all the stuff that you did, if you want to be great and leave a legacy almost as similar, if not better than your dad, there can be no question that you're riding off your dad's coattail, is that you're doing it yourself. And I'm gonna push the crap out of you to get it out of you.
That's what I'm saying. All of this would be good if they were doing this intentionally. But I feel like they have bad intentions. If it was intentional, then I'm with the Browns. I'm like, go for it, do that. You feel me? Like,
And that's all I'm saying, Harry. That's exactly what I'm saying.
You're saying it's not intentional that they have bad intentions.
I feel yes, they have bad intentions. That's
I
why
know,
he's
and I
not
can't I
get.
can't push back on that either.
That's why he's not getting the opportunity with the ones. They do not want him to display their I ain't gonna say lack. Yeah, I'm gonna say lack of knowledge. They don't want him to display their lack of knowledge on being able to
Drafting
uh
a third rounder and then let
and
let
then
the fifth rounder show you up.
that part. That's exactly what it is, bro. They do not want to give Coach Prime the upper hand on this. They don't want to give the fans which are CU fans that's coming over the bandwagon Browns, they don't want to give us the upper hand to say, dang, they got the fans are the ones and the YouTubers are the ones that got it right. I may need to fire my GM and them and everybody in my
But
front office and
they
hire
can
some of
hire
them.
us. We I know we're right. That's a fact. I know we're right. So I know there's a lot of people out there that think we're just a bunch of crazy fans. I know that we're right. We know who Shedeur is. We know who Shedeur is. So I understand that we're right. You know what I'm saying? But the whole idea is if okay, this is the final question so we can get up out of here because I'm already over time. Here's the final question. The Cleveland Browns, if they have bad intentions, then where does it go from here? Where exactly do we go from here? Let's put this question out there on Spoken Sports Podcast. Where do we go from here? What is your prediction and how does this end?
It depends on the Kenny Pickett injury. Also, he's supposed to be getting reevaluated either today or tomorrow, and rumor is he has a grade 2 hamstring.
Is it grade two
So,
now? Did they upgrade to two or is it still one?
um, ESPN Cleveland was saying grade 2.
Oh, if it's grade two, then you can add a couple more weeks to that.
Yeah, so like it depends on like how he does, and then also it depends on if he balls out in preseason. If he balls out in preseason, then I can see him staying on the 53-man roster because I can. If he goes to the practice squad, somebody's gonna snatch him up easily.
DC, where does it go from here? If Cleveland has this diabolical plan, and they are if they're staying true to themselves, where they can't figure out, they don't know their left toe from their right. Where does it go from here? Where does this end?
I think that Shador will eventually. I think it all depends on the Kenny Pickett thing. If Kenny Pickett's coming back, I don't think that's a good thing for Shador. If Kenny Pickett comes back, if Kenny Pickett is gone, he's out for an extended period of time, that is good for Shador. So I think there will be playing time, but I think the expectation management needs to be, it's probably not going to be at the beginning of the year. We could look at game 5 or game 6, and that is actually highly beneficial for Shador because if he's not getting the reps now, folks, you can't expect him to be ready within less than 30 days. You said the season starts tonight. We gotta we gotta love Shador enough. And I'm gonna say because I got something to say about folks saying haters. We gotta love him enough to also allow him to develop and not try to throw him out there because he's not getting first team reps, has not gotten
DC,
first
I'm gonna
team
hurt you
reps.
for keep saying that. Stop saying that before I come over there and handle your soldier self. Stop playing with me. Stop saying that because you're what are you standing on when you say that?
What I'm saying is that
Because you're not
if
saying that about nobody else, not even Dylan.
I am saying that about Dylan. I don't see Dylan
No,
starting
but
at the
he's at
beginning of the year
least getting
either.
some first team reps. But this is where I gotta separate it. I'm with development, but I can't let nobody keep saying this. Let them develop. Let them develop. They are developing. So what do you mean?
Because they have made I don't Harry B and all fans get this, accept this for what it is right now.
What is it?
They have made the decision to treat Gabriel like a third round and
Okay.
Shadur like a fifth round. Now, regardless of talent, that's the decision they've made, and it's obvious by how they're doing it. It does not mean that Shadur won't jump Dylan, and this is his time to say that. But here's the thing I gotta say as I close out is that folks. we can't bash other players. I'm not saying you do this, Harry B, and then call other folks hater because you don't like what they say. That's not hating.
Clean
And
that up, because I want to let's put a stamp on this. What do you mean bash other players? What does that
like
mean?
I've watched people sit back, small hands, Pickett's, old Flacco.
But that's a fact.
No. That's. Then understand this.
What?
Then
If we can't do these things, how are we fans? How can you call us fans if we're not allowed to say Shorty Dillon? Come on, man.
You have every right to say that.
Okay.
You just gotta stop with when you get it. To stop some of these fans is sensitive about it and like to call folks haters when it's done back. It's fine. I have no problem with that.
Okay, when they do it back, what are they saying? Big stomach Shedeur? What do they say about Shedeur? Let's air it all out today. What are they saying about Shedeur? When they say when they call him a name, what is it? Daddy boy? What is it?
You'll have to ask the folks that hate on Shedeur and have crap to say about Shedeur because I'm not one of those. You'll have to ask them.
You're the messenger, so I'm ready to kill this messenger right now.
You have to ask them what they say about you. You're not finna get me. No, you're not finna timestamp me, brother. Because folks will be all up in my.
I'm trying to figure this out because look, I understand it. We are accepting our fate with Shedeur. We're standing strong with him. We know that he's gonna do what he got to do. He told his dad to stay wherever he's at with his 8 toes, stay over there, because when I'm ready to cook, you're gonna be here to enjoy it anyway. So we locked in with our guy. But when you say don't say nothing bad about the other players, yes, we can. We are allowed to call him short. First of all, speaking of short and small, have you seen the Colorado offensive line? They are small again. Is anybody?
But don't, Harry.
They're not small. They're big,
Harry. I've got nothing to say on them trying to keep it a buck, but the fucking sports podcast. You need to jump on there and hear what you got to say about that as well.
First off, the CU offensive line, they average 320 pounds, but like most of them are like over 340.
They look small though. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you might not get your eyes checked, Harry.
No, you know what? I'm the one that did the video on averaging the lines like not too long ago. So look, I understand when you do the numbers and you see the numbers. I'm talking about our eye test. I saw a clip online. Let me tell you, I saw a clip on Twitter or whatever X, right? The quarterback hikes the ball. He's down on center. Now I understand why Shedeur took so many steps back. He was in shotgun the entire season. They hiked the ball down center. 3 steps, the guy was already on him to bat the ball, to catch it, and then score a touchdown.
That was third string, Harry.
And I said, hold up. I said that line, they got to that line so fast. I said, wait a minute. Why is this line reminiscent of the 2023 line? Why do they look so small? They look like high school players. It's
because they are. Those are the freshmen that came in, and that's Ryan Staub. That's quarterback. That's the third string that you saw that clip.
You said that was the third string?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Staub's the third string quarterback.
But what was that the third string line?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, because
okay, all right.
Kalen
If you say that's the third string line, I'll take your word for it.
With the second.
Okay, if that's what you're saying it is, I'll take your word for it. But something ain't right when the quarterback is taking 3 steps and they already at him. You can't take 3 steps and they at you and you're down on center. You're not in shotgun. They're gonna have to ride shotgun again the entire season. Because I was like, wait a minute, what is this happening? Like, why are they on him? He took 3 steps back. There's no way.
London Merritt's going to be a problem. The one that picked it off, the freshman, true freshman, he's going to be a problem this year.
All right, I'm going to take y'all word for it. I haven't started getting into my pocket when it comes to like evaluating these guys like close up.
I started doing that a week ago, and this team's nice.
Okay. All right, unspoken. I'm gonna take your word for it, and then I'm gonna start. Maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll start my evaluation so I can get these videos out because what I saw, if it's the third team, then maybe that's fine. But again, it wasn't. It didn't look as I thought it should look because we got Georgia Tech first. And boy, when you see Georgia Tech's line, you're like, Lord, have mercy on us. Oh. Okay. Let me. Yeah. So where did we get your chance to see where we go from here? Unspoken. Where do we? Or did you go already? Or was it Todd Smith's turn?
It was Todd Smith's turn. But
As
just I just want to
ties.
say this at the end is that yeah, I do think that's the point I was trying to make is that hey, folks, lighten up. Folks gonna say stuff about Shedeur. A lot of times it's not personal, sometimes it is. And then as far as yeah, talk crap. That's what we do, but you can't get upset when you get it back. But yeah, talking crap is part of it. Let's go.
No, I understand what you're saying, DC. You know I do. Because I'm like, if I can say anything about the Deion Sanders family, and people just like, no matter what you say, it's like it's taken out of context. I'm like, his confidence is growing, and people coming for me. I'm like, wait a minute. So are you telling me that he's all knowing and he has arrived in all things? Like his confidence as a 20-something year old kid can't grow? Like he's capped on his confidence? Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man. Y'all get up out of here with that nonsense. Todd Smith, where do we go from here?
I mean, we just continue to root him on, man. Shedeur, continue to improve, grow, keep auditioning for the rest of the 31 teams because they're going to be, I feel like there's some quarterbacks that's going to be on the chopping block. And I feel like Shedeur may, if it don't work out in Cleveland, may have the opportunity of reuniting with some of his wide receivers from Colorado. But
so you're prescribing something right now. Your prescription is that he ain't going to be with the dirty Browns, with the doo-doo Browns that long.
I mean, I don't know if he will. I hope he has a career there and become a franchise quarterback, be that quarterback that turned that organization around. I'm hopeful for that. But if it doesn't, there are other teams out there. If certain quarterbacks don't pan out, I feel like this season it may be some opportunity for him to transfer over there. So continue to audition it, whether you with the third string, like DC said, whether if you with the practice squad, then light them up. Continue to audition for those other 31 teams.
This is a soft question. We got like a minute left. This is a soft question. Yeah, y'all see if you can give me a short answer. I'll let y'all go for at least 30 seconds. Is it better that he got drafted by Cleveland in the 5th round, or would it have been better if he was an undrafted free agent and got to try out for a team? What do y'all think? We can start with start with Unspoken.
I honestly wouldn't mind undrafted free agent because if he would have signed with a team with the bona fide starter, there wouldn't be all this pushback fans have right now, and he could actually truly develop, and he wouldn't be in Cleveland. But at the same time, he can also be the one who turns Cleveland around once he gets that chance.
So you're saying you think that if he's a free agent, that because when you are a free agent, that means like your chances are way on the outside. Like you're trying to make the team, and your chances are way less than being actually drafted. But I see what you're saying. All right, DC, what are your thoughts? Answer that question quickly. You got a few seconds.
Good for him to be drafted by the Browns, but truth be told, I would told the NFL, no, thank you. Went and played the CFL, balled out, and then 2 years made my return and demanded big money.
Yeah, that route can bury you, bro. You get hurt, you're done. You would have been on the outside looking at it like, dang, this hamstring.
It's a gamble, but
It
it can pay off.
It's a big gamble, bro. You pull a hamstring in the CFL, you would have wished you was in the NFL. You'd be like, oh Lord. Oh, you in the middle of the ocean, you pulled a hamstring. Lord. Ty Smith. Oh man.
I agree with what DC said because if he had the opportunity to go to the CFL, they would have threw the books at him. He would have got a huge payday, and I feel like he would have put more eyes on the CFL, and he could have done some. He could do some big things in the CFL as far as viewership and all that stuff. So I agree with DC.
I don't know if I agree with the whole CFL idea. I like the free agent trying to like go to a different team, like go to a team and then try out for them. But again, I was just thinking about it for like a second. I'm thinking like, trying to go to a team and trying out may not have been the same because it's like you don't really have a home. You're trying to get a home. But the fact that he's at Cleveland, even though they're not as everybody wants them to be, is at least a place, right? Like if you think about it, being homeless is different, and you have a place. It's not the best place, but at least it's yours.
But Harry,
You
if you
can
think
make the
about
best out of
this,
it.
if you was projected to be a first round, they don't draft you. Do you realistically think you're getting a fair shake? And I'm gonna say no. That's why I
As
would
a
do the
free
CFL.
agent.
Yeah, if they didn't draft you, though you were projected to be first, do you think you're getting a fair shake at any team? Just logically.
Well, no, right. You're not
So
going to
that's
get a
why I
fair.
go to the CFL. That's why I would rather go to the CFL over choosing the undrafted route.
If 31 teams did not want you, and
But then what if they don't want you? Then what difference would it make if you go to the CFL and ball out? If they don't want you, they don't want you.
bro, do you know how much money the CFL would throw at him just to
Yeah,
have
but
that brand
okay, so you go to the
coming to the
CFL and
CFL?
you win a championship. That would never equal to anything.
Yes, it will,
Man,
because look
yes,
at
it
Warren
will.
Moon. Look at Warren Moon. He went to the CFL,
Man,
balled out, came
No, you're
back,
talking about
balled out.
winning at the CFL, and then hopefully the same team that didn't want you changes their minds and then want you now after the CFL success.
If
That's,
folks, if folks
that is
claim that,
the trajectory, right?
yes, it is. Yes, it is, because at the end of the
But
day,
if they
you
didn't
would
want
have.
you, I'm saying, what if they didn't want you and they don't want you even with all the success in the CFL?
Oh, they gonna want you if you sitting up there getting all the views that you would get and the money and the advertising stuff that will go to the CFL and all that. Oh, trust me, get you 2 years in the CFL, he would own the CFL.
trying to
He could
tell
come
you,
back and write his check. I'm just telling you.
better school him, DC.
Mm, I don't know, man. Things happen. I don't know. But anyways, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. Look, I'm thinking I might have a night show because I left a little bit too much meat on the bone, and then there's some other things that I wanted to discuss. If I don't have a night show, then we'll have a show on Friday. So, y'all, thank you for coming on the panel. Final thoughts, DC. You go first, please.
Always love talking football.
Me too, man. The football is almost here. It's here. Is that all you got for your final thoughts? That's all you got, DC?
That's it.
Okay. Ty Smith, final thoughts, please.
Great show, Harry, man. I'm still on one, bro. Like,
Me too, man. I wish we
uh,
could keep going. I wish I had more time. I would let you loose.
yeah, I'm really on one. But anyways, uh, great show, and that CU defense is gonna be ruthless.
You think?
I may have to come back to the table. I think that Georgia Tech game is gonna be.
No. Don't put it out there and then have reservations. don't
Hey,
don't don't let out. Don't pull out the clip and don't pull the trigger.
I'm not gonna extend your show, but great show. We're gonna have enough time to talk about that.
Okay. Unspoken. Is this your
Uh,
first time coming on Unspoken?
yeah, first of many times. We're gonna be coming out here many more times.
I appreciate you coming on, man. It's a family around here. It's a family affair, man. Final thoughts, please, sir.
Uh, just thanks for having me on. Thanks for the talk, DC and Ty. It's been fun, and also just everybody subscribe to my channel so I can like start doing lives also.
That's what's up, man. You know, we support around here. Everybody go to Unspoken Sports Podcast so that he can be spoken. You know what I mean? Yo, man, I appreciate y'all coming on. Y'all have a great evening, afternoon, and God bless everyone. Peace out, y'all.
Likewise.
All right, peace.
All right. Thank you, chat, for chatting with me today. I appreciate y'all. And Ola Fasami, Harry needs to do more research on the CU defense. He's been talking too much about Shedeur. I know you are so right. It's supply and demand. It's supply and demand. If too many people are not checking for Colorado right now, then I gotta go where the demand is, and then I gotta supply them. You feel what I'm saying? But I will be doing my homework. I'm gonna get back to the CU videos, I promise. I'll see y'all on the next video, y'all, on the next live. Peace out. God bless y'all.